a show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on JTV. This is a big story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition. And I'm so delighted to be in the room. Though I'm behind the camera today, I'm enjoying it because of the glow that is there before the camera. Great decor, great women doing great things for the people of the Virgin Islands. Ladies, I want to first welcome you to the set. It's a pleasure having you. And before we go any further, just introduce yourselves.
Great. I'm Kim Takeuchi, Executive Director at Unite BVI.
And I'm Lauren Keel, Program Manager of the exciting program that we're going to tell you about today.
Okay.
And I'm Saskia Barnes, Communication Consultant. Really excited to be working on this project with Unite BVI.
All right. So as I understand it, this is an initiative that will see opportunities arising for persons to bring out their creativities as well as making a great impact in preserving Mother Earth to a cleaner, greener, healthier Virgin Islands. So I want you to start off, Kim, by introducing to us what this program is all about.
Thank you. Well, Unite BVI is very proud to be launching a new flagship program. And for those of you who don't know much about Unite BVI, I can tell you that Lauren and I actually founded it nearly 10 years ago. Our purpose is really simple. It's to bring people, great ideas, and resources together to empower action for sustainable positive change in the BVI. The VI Purpose Fund covers all across our focus areas. It empowers entrepreneurs, supports the community, including reimagining education, empowers entrepreneurs, and protects the environment. The VI Purpose Fund is essentially a business competition. It's there to inspire innovative solutions for business-based ideas to tackle the challenges that we find in our community and environment.
What are some of those challenges that we see and face here in the Virgin Islands that would have propelled you and your team to develop such an initiative?
Yeah, I think we all know different challenges in our environment. Things like sargassum, seaweed influx. We have improper anchoring techniques that are destroying the reefs, overfishing of the coral reef systems. We have reef disease, several others. Do you guys want to have any other
Oh,
challenges?
so much. We have the plastics pollutions problems. We have, really harsh and damaging chemicals that we use, from cleaning products to, all manner of things that are really affecting the balance of our ecosystems and harming our reefs and our fish.
And I think also just in the absence of new and innovative ways to do things, we're also missing out on opportunities for young persons and entrepreneurs to develop new solutions. So I think I'm most excited about the VI Purpose Fund because I believe that is going to provide the Virgin Islands with such an excellent opportunity to really support those innovators, to really support entrepreneurs and help them bring those solutions to life so that we all can have a better quality of life and to make sure that we protect our oceans and our seas in the Virgin Islands. And I think more than ever before, particularly I think in the Virgin Islands, we have firsthand experience of what climate change is doing. 2017 is still very much in our mind. So I think it's just a really great opportunity for us to provide the world essentially with solutions homegrown in the Virgin Islands. So I'm very excited about what the VI Purpose Fund, the potential of the VI Purpose Fund.
Yeah.
And I have been in conversation with you for quite such a long time, Saskia, and I know of your passion for business opportunities, for opportunities for young people to delve into and get opportunities, I guess, and where do they get the funding, how are they equipped, and I see this as one that you are so much in the right place in terms of associating yourself with this.
Well, I'm really thankful for the opportunity to be thought of to come in and support this project. I'm excited for Lauren to share a little bit more about the Impact Challenge and what that can do. But we are in a fairly small community. The government of the Virgin Islands cannot do everything, cannot be everything to everyone. And, I just fundamentally believe that entrepreneurs, we are the solution to the issues of the Virgin Islands. What we have been missing for quite some time is real financial support and real funding. So I'm excited for Lauren to tell us a little bit more about the Impact Challenge.
And so people will dive right into the Impact Challenge, Lauren.
And it's a big one.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So tell us about the Impact Challenge.
So the 2025 Impact Challenge is being powered by the VI Purpose Fund, which is, as Kim has shared, an initiative of Unite BVI. And this year, our theme is focusing on really inspiring business-based solutions to challenges that are facing our ocean's health. So we have 4 strategic focus areas within that theme. So sustainable fisheries, coastal resilience, eco-waste management, and ecotourism are 4 themes that fall under that umbrella. But really, taking a step back, it is an innovative business competition that we're running. There's up to $200,000 of investment funding available for entrepreneurial ideas that are hitting the eligibility criteria. And this environmental impact is one of the key eligibility criteria. So we're really excited because we believe that the ideas that our community of entrepreneurs here in the BVI will be able to truly not only impact the British Virgin Islands, but can scale regionally, and we really believe to the world.
Okay, so explain to me, because when we hear figures, we're like bulbs go off, it's like, hey, what can I do to get access to this? When you say you have up to $200,000 available, is this that a person can apply for that amount, or that's the amount of funds that you have to be distributed amongst those who win in their application processes?
Yes, so the VI Purpose Fund is for 2025 up to $200,000. That means, and we're going to go into the details of what the application process looks like, the eligibility criteria, and the selections process. But the scope of this opportunity is really that 1 to 6 businesses have the potential to be awarded investment funding. So if we have one fantastic business idea that is really very promising in the solution that it presents to some of the ocean challenges that we're seeing, then the selections committee and the judging panel may choose to really support just that one entrepreneur with a large sum of investment funding. If we have 6 fantastic ideas, then they might distribute that $200K over the 6 entrepreneurs. So it really just depends on the strength of our candidates and the applications they put forward through the competition.
All right, so now explain to us the application process.
Okay, exciting. Okay, so there's 3 phases, the application process. Phase 1 is an initial assessment. We have the template. It's literally going to be on Unite BVI's website and the vipurposefund.org website. And it is a simple Google form that will, ask you very clear questions that are very direct in knowing how to answer. That helps the eligibility screening team be able to screen for eligibility. So that's phase 1. That opens on the 1st of June, and it's going to close on July 14th. Then this eligibility selection criteria will go through. Eligible candidates will then be invited to phase 2 of the application process, and they will know by August 1st if they're being advanced to phase 2. So they'll receive that invitation. And phase 2 of the application process includes 3 core documents. We provide the templates, so you do not have to come up with your own business plan template. We'll provide those templates, but it's a business plan, a financial forecasting document, and an impact projection. So once you've submitted those 3 elements, that is your complete phase 2 application. You have until September 1st to submit that. So that's a full month from when you've been invited to phase 2 to the deadline. Then the selection committee is going to review all of those submissions. And the strongest of those candidates, which we have a weighted scoring matrix, and I can talk more about selection committee as well in a moment, but then the strongest of those applicants, we're going to narrow down to between 6 and 10, are going to advance to phase 3. And phase 3 is a live in-person pitch event that will be held on Necker Island on November 4th. And those candidates, the selection committee invites to phase 3 are going to be paired with a business coach and a mentor to help them feel prepared for that business pitch. We understand some people thrive in front of an audience, some people love to be on stage, others really don't. They might have a fantastic business idea, but they might not feel comfortable that they're going to deliver that really eloquently and compellingly in a pitch event. That's why we're pairing you with someone who's going to coach you and make sure that you feel, when you step out in front of the judging panel at the pitch event, confident to present your idea in a compelling and eloquent way. And so then on November 4th, the judging panel is going to, have fantastic 6 to 10 pitches have been presented to them, and they're going to decide at that point, that same day, the finalists will be, announced in regards to whether they've been successful and if they're going to be the 2025 Impact Challenge awardees for this Impact Fund.
What I need to know, what I need to do, where I need to go in order to apply.
Yes, excitingly. So you can go on to unitebvi.com and there will be a link to a landing page for the VI Purpose Fund 2025 Impact Challenge. We also have a website specifically for the Impact Challenge called vipurposefund.org. So you can use either of those platforms, and all the information will be contained on those sites. The eligibility criteria for applying for this, I feel like, is one of the most important things to go through. And so you do need to either have a BVI trade license for the business in which you are applying for funding, or you need to have applied and have attained that trade license by September 1st. You need to be at least 18 years of age. Your business idea needs to be solving a challenge or a problem that's facing our ocean's health in one of those 4 environmental strategic areas that I mentioned, which is sustainable fisheries, eco-waste management, eco-tourism, and coastal resilience. You also need to have a business idea that is solvable, so it's actually a problem that is solvable, scalable, so it's an idea that can be taken from the BVI regionally and potentially to the world, and measurable in regards to both the economic viability and impact that it has, as well as the environmental impact that it has. So those are some of the key eligibility requirements.
Okay, and you said 18-year-old, but being out and about here in the Virgin Islands, and we see it so evident before our faces, we have very young children coming up with creative and really, really good ideas. What if someone under 18 wants to apply because they have this really cool business idea and they are lucrative? How do we handle something like that?
You're absolutely right. Our young people have brilliant ideas and they deserve to be believed in and empowered to see those ideas come to fruition. In this instance, because of all the legalities and having to have bank accounts and trade license, we unfortunately have to limit it to 18. However, we would encourage any young person with your brilliant idea potentially partner with someone who is 18 years of age that could be a business partner in this. And absolutely, we will support you by putting you in touch with business coaches and mentors to make sure that you, in that partnership arrangements, are being treated with the equity that you deserve and will receive the benefits that you deserve, being that it's your idea.
Okay, another thing that I know that you have been doing through other initiatives is creating that space where you mentor, where you incubate. Is this something that is going to be applied in this instance?
Absolutely. And I'll jump back into one of the questions around the application process, because I talked about eligibility criteria, but it's quite exciting to kind of lay out what the application process is,
Okay, yes.
and then what that leads to. Because to answer your direct question, if you are awarded funding because you are a finalist that makes it to the very end, then we do commit to providing mentorship and business coaching and what we call incubation and acceleration business support for our awardees for up to a year and potentially even longer.
Okay. And you are big on education and preparing people for application processes. I know of initiatives that you would have championed before where you would have done. So persons who probably are interested in applying interested in applying or would have applied but still need some guidance, is there any provision made to have let's sit and rapport and let's all discuss this before you complete your application?
If I can take that, I want to say directly to our community, I think having conversations with Kim and Laura and the Unite team and Virgin as well, they're very intentional in making sure that the application process is transparent and it's accessible. So what that's going to look like, the deadline for the application is July 14th. So all applications have to be in on July 14th. Prior to that, we are going to have a couple of online opportunities. Those dates are going to be published. I do encourage you to make sure that you're following all of Unite BVI social. That's exactly where we're going to be publishing all of the details. So there are going to be a couple of dates where we are going to have live Q&As. So if you have any question about the application process, you can have those questions directly answered to make sure that you understand where you are in the process, what additional information that you might need. On the website, we're also going to have a couple of templates for you to do your financial projections and business plan templates, just to make sure that you do have some information. And I'm also very delighted, again, with intention. We're going to also have some opportunities where you can do the application in person. So if you're, you're not comfortable with submitting your ID on the Google form for whatever reason, we are going to be publishing some times that you can come into the Unite BVI's office and have someone sit down and go through that application with you in a very transparent and also very private way to protect you and your ID. So I do want to appeal to our community that this is really a fantastic opportunity, and I think every effort is really being made to make sure that the application is accessible. We have some real challenges in the Virgin Islands, and I think that this really is a great opportunity for big ideas and bold impact. So I want to again say to our community, this really is a genuine opportunity for us to solve our problems. And I really want to invite you to make sure you check out vipurposefund.org. All of the information is up there in reference to the application, as well as the support that the Unite team is providing to make sure that we have the best ideas put forward, and to make sure anyone who wishes to put forward their ID have that opportunity.
It's asking you just give birth to what I was thinking behind my head, and I'm wondering, are you partnering with anyone else or organizations with this? And I heard Virgin. Tell us, when I hear Virgin, we hear Richard Branson. Is this what I'm hearing? Tell us about his involvement, if at all.
Yes, we have we have global support through Virgin Unite, which is Richard Branson's philanthropic entity globally. We also have an incredible donor, Rick Kearney, who is helping with the funding for this particular program as well. So it's an exponentially wonderful opportunity to have both the regional and the global support for local and business-based solutions.
Okay. And is there room for others to hop on board to collaborate with you in this initiative? Tell me.
Absolutely. Some of the opportunities that immediately come to mind is, we're looking for wonderful business coaches and mentors, people who have expertise in some of the areas that would support our applicants. We want to have a series of webinars that are really resourceful for candidates to use as they prepare really strong applications. So if you are someone who has business expertise in specific areas, we do encourage you to contact Kim or myself so that we can share with you what that could look like. That's one opportunity. If you are someone who's really excited about investing in entrepreneurs who have fantastic business ideas and show real potential, our vision, our dream for the BVI Purpose Fund is that we would invite a collaboration of investors, and this is the pilot program that for years to come we'll be able to continue running this program and scale it. So we invite investors who are interested in potentially supporting entrepreneurs with funding. And there are a number of other ways in regards to once we've identified the actual awardees or the winners for our 2025 Impact Challenge, those businesses are going to deserve custom curated support to really ensure that they succeed and their ideas have reached the full potential to scale regionally and globally. So we look forward to sharing those finalists with the public and invite anyone who would like to come alongside and provide that incubation and acceleration support to those awardees.
Awesome, and you preempted me there, because I'm like, okay, if it is that some business entities are now hearing, or potential partners are now hearing about this, I'm like, what? I'm loving this idea. I want to make an investment in this. Are you willing to up your ante? You have a benchmark right now at 200,000, and someone wants to listen. Let's make this 5, and let's capture. Probably based on the amount of applications and these. It's so tough to decide on a small core that was absorb just the 200,000 and want to. Are you willing to expand it as the pilot, or are you now looking for new partners to take you into the second phase?
Ooh, I feel like that's a decision that we can't make. We would need to involve. There's a team behind the scenes, absolutely. From our co-investors into this initial BVI Purpose Fund pot, which is Virgin Unite and Richard Branson and Rick Kearney, who have made this possible. And then Virgin Unite is a philanthropic arm that Kim spoke about for the Virgin Group, and Richard, they've been key partners in launching this program. So we would need to speak to the team and see at what phase, because absolutely they're all about partnership and collaboration. So the answer would be yes. It would just be a matter of when. Is it best to wait until year 2? And then that would really be the collaboration from an investment fund perspective, or would we want to scale this year's investment pot? So it's a question we can discuss with them and come back. So if you're an investor thinking about supporting us,
right?
we're happy to have those conversations.
Nice. Yeah. Another thing, we know that the Virgin Islands is of 4 main islands, and when we do initiatives, we love to know that it spreads out to reach both Anegada, Yas Van Dyke, Virgin Gorda, and of course Tortola. Is this designed in a way to ensure that we can tap in on each island for this project?
100%. We want to be very inclusive and accessible to all the islands and anyone that is living on any of those islands. So we are going to be doing marketing promotions, making sure we get the word out across the various, platforms that the different islands, use. And we're going to make sure that our drop-in sessions are accessible and marketed and promoted across the islands. So, as Saskia shared, that we want to support applicants who, would perhaps like to come into the office and fill in an application. There's an opportunity to do that either over the phone, or we could even travel to some of the other islands that potentially do drop-in days where we can support and make it really inclusive for, candidates that are in Anegada or Yas Van Dyke or in Virgin Gorda.
And I think one of the really great quotes that I just heard recently was from Deputy Honourable Fraser, who mentioned there was about 200 square miles of land in the BVI, but truly there were 30,000 square miles of ocean. And when you think about that capacity and that opportunity at hand, that's something that we really want to capitalize on.
And one of the things that it's a frequently asked question is, what my status in the Virgin Islands has to be in order to qualify for this loan? Is there a status component to it, or this is once you're a resident here and has a trade license?
The trade license is the fundamental eligibility criteria in regards to status. So if the Department of Trade has said that your idea is, within the mastermind of, supporting an ecosystem of businesses that help support a thriving economy and protect jobs for, our local, BVI Islanders and communities, then we default to the trade licensing department's, decision around who to grant trade licenses to or not. So that is our fundamental criteria, having a BVI trade license.
Look, is government a part of your government one of your stakeholders in this initiative?
Absolutely. We're working alongside both the Ministry of Environment, Natural Resources and Climate Change, as well as the Premier's portfolio, as well as the Junior Minister of Trade's portfolio. So it incorporates everything. When you think about the ocean is everybody's business. If you need a job, if you eat, if you breathe, it matters. It affects everything. Even if you don't think you're directly connected, you are. So that includes government, that includes nonprofits, that includes private sector. We want to bring everybody together to make an impact on this cause.
Yeah, and then I might just add that, in, I think it was November of 2022, the government of the Virgin Islands announced the Blue Economy Strategy and Roadmap, which is a framework with which we've made sure that we want to complement and fall within the umbrella of. And so we're excited that the 2025 Impact Challenge, powered by the VI Purpose Fund, is absolutely providing kind of the how and how to bring to life some of the framework that is within the Blue Economy strategy and guide.
And I think it's important, Lauren just kind of gave like the tea in terms of how to get really impactful ID. I think it's really important for persons to look at that strategy. The government of the Virgin Islands has laid out what they think, and based on their research as well, what the Virgin Islands, the potential of the Virgin Islands can do with the blue economy. So I definitely would say if you have an idea or what's not, check out the BVI's Blue Economy Strategy. I think it will be extremely helpful in guiding and really helping you to understand the quality of opportunity or the quality of business that you can provide that would be of substantial impact to the Virgin Islands economy. So definitely, Lauren said it, I'm really going to encourage you as well, that Blue Economy Strategy from the government, I would definitely recommend persons to review it and see how their business properly sits within that strategy.
Kim, you know what? One of the things I'm looking forward to hearing at the end of this, and I hope that it happens, to see a successful applicant coming out from one who would have benefited from place like
Exactly.
I am so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. All right, ladies, I think this is such an informative session that we would have had. I think this is a lot of information. The website is going to be popping because when we hear the figures and we know that we have ideas that, oh God, I can't go to the bank and get an easy access to a loan, but there is a grant that is coming through Unite BVI and all its partners. Like, why not? In closing, anything that you would love to say to those listening at this moment?
I think I'm going to just again appeal to entrepreneurs in the Virgin Islands. This is really a genuine and fantastic opportunity. For many entrepreneurs in the Virgin Islands, we don't typically get the benefit of a lot of international grants and funding for a number of reasons. This is a homegrown opportunity. This is not a fund that's asking you to purchase the equipment and then you're going to be paid back, and the challenges in terms of even getting there. This is a fund that's saying come with bold ideas that can have big impact for the Virgin Islands, and the fund will make sure that your idea is funded, make sure that you're in a position that your idea can be scaled, and of course for the 12 months after you've won the award, to really be incubated and supported by local and international experts. So I really want to appeal to entrepreneurs in the Virgin Islands. If you're sick and tired of the sargassum in the air, that is an opportunity. We've seen it around other Caribbean islands. If you're sick and tired of how we get rid of our waste in the Virgin Islands, that is an opportunity. If you think that there's a different way that we can encourage a more green territory, better opportunity for us to look at how we're using our seas, this is an opportunity to have your idea be funded. So I'm definitely going to encourage you, make sure you follow all of Unite BVI's social and make sure that you regularly check into vipurposefund.org to be updated. Again, this is a fantastic opportunity and I am really just appealing to all of us, to all of the residents in the Virgin Islands. If you have that great idea, please put your foot forward.
And your closing say?
Yeah, I think I 100% echo and thanks Saskia for that appeal, but absolutely, just this is accessible. I think sometimes entrepreneurs feel exhausted because it is so hard to access funding, and so this is one of the things that, you know, in the creation of this program, that, you know, the team that's been designing it has really said, how do we make this really accessible? And so we encourage you not to be discouraged and to reach out. If you have questions, we're there to answer. It's all going to be on the website, and follow the socials. And I think the only other thing I'd love to say is just a thank you. You know, thank you to the community for, you know, being our partners. We're going to co-create these fantastic business-based solutions to environmental problems together. So we're excited for the community. Thank you for the government for, you know, being our partners and, you know, setting the way and the strategy and the vision through the Blue Economy strategy and roadmap. And thank you to our partners with Virgin Unite, who have incubated, you know, Unite BVI from inception and, you know, are helping to incubate this program. And to our, you know, investment partners, Richard Branson and Rick Kearney. This wouldn't be happening without you. So we want to say thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and echoing all of the gratitude 100%. For our investment partners, you know, one of the stats that we did pull up was that $1 of investment in a sustainable ocean solution actually catalyzes over the next 30 years into $5 of impact. So when you run the numbers, and it's about a $200,000 investment to begin with, in 30 years, that's going to be over $1 million of investment and impact. And that's numbers that we like. So we do want to say a huge thank you to any investors that are involved. When it comes to entrepreneurs, I can give a little bit of feedback, because we have run the Kickstart BVI loan program for a few years, Kathy, as you know. And during that process, it's really easy to get overwhelmed and to want to try to tackle everything. The idea is to focus, to be very specific about the problem or the challenge you want to tackle, and be really simple. The best solutions are always simple. Success is simple. It's about trying to deliver and create an idea that has big impact, but it's very easy to execute. So I think when you're doing your business ideas and creating them, try to just think, is this relevant? Is this executionable? Is this something that I can implement with the resources around me? Because those are always the best ideas. I think those are the ones that are going to be the biggest success. And Kathy, as you mentioned, it's our young people. Our young people have great ideas. So talk to young people, get them involved, bring the next generation along. We know that the future of the workforce is changing with AI, with climate change. There's a lot of differences coming on. So, you know, when I thought about my kids at home, I've got 2 teenagers entering the future workforce. This particular project was so relevant and so important, because we need to be able to tackle our issues with businesses. We need to be able to stretch philanthropic dollars. We need to be able to approach this next phase of work in a very creative and innovative way. So utilizing technology in some of our solutions as well is certainly possible. There's one great example that I'd love to share. Is there is a business out there called Whale Watch, and it helps to forecast whale encounters through shipping lanes, and so you can avoid ship hits for whales. And that's something so simple, but it's utilizing technology, and it's actually helping, you know, the survival of whales, which is very relevant to BVI as well. So I would say, have a look around, see what we can create, and then make it BVI based, because as you said, homegrown ideas are what we're looking for.
Awesome. Great. And I don't know if it's by nature, it was just, I think it was 2 mornings ago that I popped up on that very video, the whale initiative. I'm like, ooh, okay. And then you see it spilling around the Caribbean as well. So great initiative. I must tell you that I love Nat Geo. My thing to do in the mornings, this is how my devotion goes. I deal with the Almighty, then I come down to 1.5 hour of news around the world, and for the rest of my morning before I get out of the house, it's the wild, wild west. I love nature. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing. I'm looking forward to the outcome of this. I know it's going to be great. Can't wait to celebrate with those who would be successful in this first pilot initiative and those who will follow. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much.
And you viewers, I want to thank you so much for the pleasure of your time joining us here on this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Large and small corporations in the BVI can't be wrong. BVI HR, a BVI-based integrated solution of employee timesheets, leave tracking, scheduling, employment letters, HR processes, pay slips, and tax reports, including NHI, Social Security, and Inland Revenue, will make your management of employees easier. While BVI HR can cater to the needs of larger enterprises, it also works exceptionally well for small companies. To sign up, visit bovihr.com, that is BOVIHR.com, or call us at 342-9686.